All right, everybody, welcome back to another Bitcoin analysis. Today is Monday, November 4th. Again, I'm going to do everything I can to try and keep this short. I'm looking at the time. It's 4:48 right now. I'm going to try and keep this to about 15 minutes for you guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at the charts. All right, so weekly candle has already closed, and I really want to call this a spinning top. However, the bottom wick isn't quite as tall as the top one, but just kind of an indecisive candle here. Obviously, after that 1 week that we had this huge pump and we had a nice even wick in both directions, so now we got kind of the same thing, just on a smaller scale here and to the bullish side. Right now, so far for Monday, the daily close is going to be in about about 3 hours. And right now we are forming a little bit of a bullish candle here. So this is starting to, maybe we can start to see a pattern forming here. Right now it's, if you include the wicks, it might be forming some kind of triangle or possibly even a pennant or something. Looking on the daily chart, today has been quite bullish. If we bring up the Ichimoku, let's just get a look for where we are right now. We have tested inside of the cloud again on the Ichimoku, and we've been holding we've been holding this this red Kinjinsen line and this orange 100 EMA line very, very nicely. They're actually almost right on top of each other right now, as you can see. So this is really, really good. Definitely not bearish or bullish right here. I mean, you can see we're just kind of going sideways. We're in this like $1,000 range, just like I explained in my last video last week, how we were just kind of in this $1,000 range right here. We're kind of doing the same thing again here. Range is starting to really get defined here as well. It's looking like 9,550 to about 9,000, 9,600 or so, or 9,060. That looks about right. It's a little closer of a range than this was. This was about 1,000. This is about $500 or $600. So it's looking really good. Right now, I'm really, really looking for a close into this cloud right now. That would be a little more on the bullish side for me. This cloud is starting to thin out over here, which is kind of good. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on the daily chart very closely. If we take a look at, let me go ahead and turn this off. Turn the volume on. Let's go ahead and take a look at our indicators. So this is the first time in a couple days here, about 4 days or so, that we've actually seen our oscillator turn bullish, which is very good. And I think that this is just due to a pump that we just saw just recently on the smaller time frames. I'm going to get down to the hour here in just a minute. It's also visible on the 4 hour as well. So if we, let me go ahead and move this real quick. There we go. Anyway, so we did turn over bullish on the oscillator here, and we still have we're in the okay zone, as it were, on this MFI indicator up here, and we're just kind of going sideways. However, we are in the upper half, so we're not really seeing too much movement up or down. This could really still go either way at this point. This is just kind of stagnant up here. And we are in an area of really good volume. So it's definitely very tradable here in terms of volume. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Where did I pull this? So my most recent fib pull is from this bottom that we had until our top up here at this really big wick. Let me go ahead and not reverse that. Personally, I really am still trying to think of taking shorts down here into this golden pocket, considering that's what we did last time on the last big move down that we had. Our retrace hit this golden pocket here, and I'm really trying to look for the same kind of setup here, but with just how sideways this is, I mean, we only dipped into the bottom of this little range that we were in for, just maybe 2 or 3 days. And then now we're popping back up out of it, and we're getting this little swooping bottom here. If we would have had a really long wick up here, then this would be forming a diamond. But unfortunately, we don't have a really big wick up here in the center of this formation so far. So that's definitely not something that's going to be happening any longer. In terms of like where we stand in terms of like support and resistance and stuff. This bar, which I explained last time, we've used this as support and resistance. I mean, most recently resistance, but we've used it as support quite a number of times since back here in mid-June. And right now it's acting as very, very heavy resistance. So we're just going to have to kind of wait and see what plays out here. I do think maybe if shorting, I really think that probably getting into a short somewhere in these levels of like, 9,500 and 9,650 or so, those would probably be good areas to be getting into shorts, up to this 236 level up here, 9,780. Anywhere from 9,500 to up in the higher, 9,700s, 9,800 or so is definitely a good area to be shorting this, I think. But other than that, unless you're getting in really high on these really big moves, like on these big wick moves, it's probably not worth it even for scalping, since the movement has been so sideways lately. If we take a look at a 4-hour chart, let me go ahead and look at the Ichimoku on the 4-hour. Wow, look at this. Look at this really big curve here. Really, really nice curve on that. And we actually just went up and just tested the very, very tippy top of it. Same with our upper resistance line here for the range that we're in. We just tested this. It's looking like we're probably going to end up seeing this close above the 382, which would be very good, especially on these smaller time frames here. We just have a lot of support here. I mean, and just look at where all these lines are. Look at the Kijun-sen, look at the Tenkan-sen, look at my range lines, look at where this cloud is, where the 0.5 fib is. It lines up directly with the bottom of the cloud, and the Kijun-sen line. We just had a bullish cross of our 100 and our 200 EMA on the 4-hour time frame. Our indicators are looking pretty good right now, or at least this top one is. We're just on this big pump. We didn't even get into overbought territory, so that's a very positive move right here. That means that we still have a lot of room to move higher, in my opinion. Here, obviously, our oscillator after this big move, once it kind of settled down or whatever, we've just been kind of sideways on this. Now it's flipping over to the bullish side on the smaller time frame here on the 4-hour. So that actually is a very good sign. So it's looking like we're probably going to end up making new support here if we can hold anywhere between this 382 at what is that? 90, it's almost exactly 9,300. It's at 9,301. If we can hold support at 9,301, anywhere from there to like 9,350 or so, or up here about 9,430. I think if we can hold this support and use this as support, then we probably have a pretty good chance of even moving up from here. Like if this was a 1 in terms of Elliott waves, if this was a 1, if this whole move was a 1 and then we're coming in, this is a 2 or whatever, long sideways 2 or something, or maybe this is our 2, one of these or whatever, this is our 2, and then we're now moving up for our 3. This would be definitely a very good time to be entering here. This would definitely be the beginning of the next leg up. So I'm going to be playing, personally, I'm going to be playing long on this, but very, very conservatively. Like my stop loss is definitely going to be 9,300. If we fall below that, then we're going to fall right back into the bottom of this range, and we're going to be testing, our support at, about $9,000. So if this doesn't hold as support, that's why I would have a stop very tight there, and potentially be flipping short at this level to play this bottom of the range for a small scalp. So that would probably be my strategy for this. There really isn't too much else to say. Down here on this 1-hour chart, we did get up into the overbought territory on this large candle that we just got. This was a very nice move. If anybody had like played this long from down here, or gotten into a long, right close to $9,000, or even up to like $9,200, this was a pretty good scalp play. Or even if you just spot, if you did a spot buy and you held it, this was a really good play to have made. I doubt anybody got out at the exact top, maybe 95.50 or something like that, but I really doubt anybody sold the exact right at 9,600. This hit 9,600 to the tick. So not really a surprise there. We know that Bitcoin is very heavily manipulated. We've been seeing it more and more often hit, perfect numbers to the ticks. We've been seeing it hit Fibonacci levels to the tick. And that is a result of a lot of algo traders and bots and heavy manipulation on the market due to market manipulators and big whales and stuff like that. So that's definitely something to keep an eye out for. Playing a short for this, maybe a scalp would be okay here. Maybe trying to get back in, and close around 9,300. That would probably be a good target. My first target personally would probably be 9,375 or so up here. But that would definitely be a good, maybe a quick scalp trade for the short side before this potentially goes up even higher. But I think that with the indicators looking the way they are, especially on the the 15-minute and the 1 hour time frames, this is definitely going to need some more time to cool off a little bit before we start making any movement further up. So I think very short term, that's probably a good idea. Maybe scalping the short on this, and then taking profit and then re-entering along somewhere around like 9,200 or something. Buying at support here. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. Check out, if you guys are looking at switching to a different exchange, definitely make sure you check my my link down in the description below for ByBit. With my link, you get a $60 bonus for signing up. There's no deposit minimum or anything like that. You get $60 for signing up. Really awesome. Definitely a good exchange. No order submission errors, no fuckery with orders getting skipped by. I've been trading on it since, and it's been working out very well so far. So I highly recommend switching over there, especially with all the stuff that's been going on with BitMEX lately. It's just not good. Looks like it might be turning into somewhat of an unsafe exchange. So I've moved all of my funds off of there since, and I've been only trading on ByBit now for a couple months. So it's been working out very well. Definitely check that out. We're going to have more news for the Edge group coming up. Stay tuned with everything that's going on with that. The software that we're developing is in its final testing stages now, and we're just basically figuring out all of the legal stuff and all of that, and hopefully it's going to be released fully open to the public very, very soon. We're hoping in the next week or two. So don't quote me on that, but we are getting very, very, very close. So definitely keep an eye on all of that stuff. As I said, check out my Medium pages, and you can always follow me on Twitter, and my link to contact me on Discord is there as well. All of my DMs on all of these social platforms are always open. If you have any questions, or if you'd like one-on-one training, you can also check out the link to my Patreon down below in the description as well. Take it easy, guys. That is your Monday update from Kobra Trading. Take it easy, and until next time, happy trading.